She said that she made $22,000 in 11 minutes. And I'm like, what? It's easier and harder than it sounds. I'm going to tell you what I did. You can do whatever you want, but this is what I did. Hello everyone. So this video is going to be about how to create wealth surviving from your savings. And the answer is carefully. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching this video. I'm kidding. So there are two main things that we have to do to start off. First, we have to assess our situation. For example, me being a single child-free woman, I'm going to have a different audit than someone who, say, is married and who has children. I only have one income where a married person has two. I don't have to feed anybody versus someone who has kids. So assess your situation, number one. Number two, you have to absolutely agree to this. You have to agree that you have to do something different. And that different thing is your mindset. The mindset is to start acting wealthy. When I say start acting wealthy, I don't mean to start spending money that you don't have or start just being frivolous and living a lifestyle that you cannot contain. If anything, I am definitely telling you to make informative decisions and calculated risk. Wealthy people make informative decisions and calculated risk. Okay, so how do we make informative decisions and calculated risk? We're going to use me as an example because I can talk about this because I'm doing it or have done it, whatever you want to say. As a single child-free person, I have to know how much money I need to pay for my expenses. So that includes rent, maybe a car note, groceries, utilities, etc., whatever that number is for you. And then you also have to calculate how much money you need to invest. Yes, you heard what I said, because wealthy people invest. And you can do it right now, surviving from your savings, because that is going to catapult you into another dimension. So let's keep going. You are now a numbers person. You have to calculate the number, how much expenses you need, how much investment you need. Now, this is something that I wish I did when I was freed from my job. Yes, freed and not fired, because words mean things. After you no longer work a 9 to 5, 40 hours a week for somebody else, it is imperative that you find some other way to make money that you can then take that money and make it work for you. You've already traded time for money. You now have to make money work for you. It's easier and harder than it sounds. So after the 9 to 5 that you no longer have, you now have to get a part-time job. You don't have to, actually. This is just my suggestion. And this is what I would have done earlier. You already have the savings account that is going to pay for your expenses. Now you need the part-time job to pay for your calculated risk on being wealthy. And if you don't have a savings account to pay for your expenses, I would also suggest having multiple side gigs. That life is very rigorous, and I've lived that life as well. But you got to do what you got to do. But that's a topic for a totally different video. Let me know if you want to know that video. Back to investing and making money work for you. I'm not telling you to just jump into full-blown investing, take your entire savings and putting it into dividend bonds and stocks in a stock portfolio. I'm not telling you to do that because that takes a lot of research and time and energy to figure out where you want to put your money. And that's also not what I did. I'm going to tell you what I did. You can do whatever you want, but this is what I did. I was depressed on the couch one day and I'm just sitting there and I'm just like, whatever. I don't know how I'm going to make money. The next thing I know, guess what pops up on my For You page? There was this girl, she popped up on my For You page and she said that she made $22,000 in 11 minutes. And I'm like, what? How did she make $22,000 in 11 minutes? And then I realized she was a day trader. And then specifically, she traded stock options. And I had no idea what this was. I only heard of trading as far as Forex because I remember during the pandemic, there was a certain company that used Forex for their MLM. And so that's what people think like all trading is. And that's what I thought until I saw her video. And I'm like, oh, wait. And then I realized something while watching her video. It took her 5 years to make $22,000 in 11 minutes. I'm like, dang, that's a long time. But you know what? I feel like everyone starts somewhere. So where can I start to get to where she is 5 years from now? And then I realized she had Discord. I joined it. I met a few people. Everyone is very encouraging. We did like study groups together and we were all learning the material. So I started from like April. I learned the material. By May, I was like, okay, I feel like I'm ready to trade stock options. And then when I did that, I was like, wait, there's no way to paper trade options. So here's where the calculated risk jumps back into my brain. As someone living off their savings and doesn't have a job, I am not going to risk my real money. There has to be some other way. And there was. And it was trading futures. With futures, you can apply for a prop firm. And so it's not your money that you're trading. But I'm like, okay, but now I got to learn something else. And so it kind of depressed me for a little bit. I'm not going to lie to you. For 3 weeks, I didn't do anything trading related. I'm like, I just learned all that for nothing. Da, da, da. But I'm like, no. You got to get it together. You got to get your mindset back together. Now you're making an informative decision because, all right, you learned the material and you can also relearn more material from this same group. I joined an academy so that I can learn at a faster rate than, say, somebody learning on YouTube University and doing trial and error. I was like, no, I want to learn from people who already done it, who's already learned it. And so this is what I'm going to do. I did invest in a mentorship. And after that, I knew exactly what I was doing, but now I had to implement it. And I was so scared for some reason. And again, another 2 weeks went by. Guys, don't be like me. And so then I was like, okay, I got to stop being scared. If you're scared of paper trade, you'll never be able to make real money. Once I started paper trading, I'm like, okay, I have to have a plan though. I can't just be paper trading forever. So I decided I'm going to make 100 paper trades in a month. And I'm going to then calculate what happens after that and then make my decision from there. I'm thinking it's going to be a month. It ends up being around 2 months. I realized even though I am paper trading, I do have to act like I am a trader with a funded account already. I have to act like I already have the $50,000 in my account, the $100,000 in my account, the $150,000 in my account. I have to act like that now. My real money on the line, I'm not making more than 3 trades. With my real money on the line, I'm not staying in trades for 10, 15, 20 minutes. I'm in and I'm out. The longest trade I've taken so far has been 5 minutes. But that's just my strategy and how it works, but whatever. That's a totally different topic on a totally different video, and I don't want to make this so like trading heavy, but I'm just trying to show you how many informative decisions and calculated risk that I have made just by having a part-time job and making a calculated risk to enter day trading, which was a form of investing. It goes day trader, swing trader, and then investment portfolio, basically. At least that's what I did. I'm not telling you what to do, but that's what I did. It is still possible to build wealth with $100. Also, I have a Vanguard account. My Vanguard account is where my savings is. And Vanguard has a digital advisor that you can implement. And the minimum requirement for a digital advisor on Vanguard is $100. So if you have $100, you can learn and see how that digital advisor raises that account. And then from there, you can choose what type of investments you want to make. You don't need a lot of money to invest. I also have a totally separate app called the Alinea app. The Alinea app is founded by female investors. They worked on Wall Street, they're in finance, all that stuff. And then they made this app to make investing more digestible to the average person. And so I actually started there and I just randomly threw $50 on stock. I would not do that today, but that's where I started. Now I know a lot more information. There are things on there that you can learn. This is not sponsored by anybody. This is not sponsored by Vanguard. This is not sponsored by Alinea. These are things that I've just used in my personal life, and I just hope that maybe it can help you learn about wealth and to build it on your own. So yeah, that is how you build wealth while surviving off your savings. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. I will be here to answer them. And also let me know in the comments if you've ever tried anything like this, because this is kind of crazy. You have to be a little bit delusional to try stuff like this. You cannot be someone who is practical, like, oh my gosh, I have to do it this way, this way, this way. You can't live in the matrix. Oh, and here's another thing. Here's a tip. Do not listen to your friends and family. They're not going to understand what you're doing. Matter of fact, it's better you don't tell them anything at all, because they might just project onto you, oh, you haven't gotten a job yet? Oh my gosh, it's been 9 months, it's been 8 months, it's been how much amount of time? You can't let your friends and family limiting belief start to trickle into your brain, because that is what's going to happen when you're around people who don't understand that they're not taking any type of risk in their life. It is not their fault necessarily how they think, but it will affect you if you continue to stay around those people. You might want to find a way to elevate your circle. You may want to find, maybe not hang around your family as much, because you are in a building era. You cannot be in a building era and then looking down to see how far you've come. But you have to stick to your plan, and just don't tell anybody all of your business all the time. And if you do tell them and they tell you their experience or they tell you what you should do, you should just be like, thank you, but I have a plan and I'm just gonna stick to it. You can just politely decline their offers of like, oh, I got a job for you, because I think in this area of your life, having a 9-to-5 is honestly not the best idea, because at any given moment, they can just snatch it right from you. And what do you have then? What do you have now? Having a 9-to-5 is a blessing if you have it, but if you don't have it and you have no idea what to do, I think that the things that I've spoken about in this video can help you and understand how to maybe elevate in a different way than you thought. Hopefully you know what I'm saying. Yeah, I think I covered everything. I hope this helped you. And if this helped you, let me know in the comments.